3 times the laughs, 3 times the stupid, 3 times the pain. But I don't think 3D is always a needed choice. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for the third installment of the comedy series I am currently reviewing. I just reviewed the first 2 earlier this week, and now I need to review the third installment that came out 4 years after the previous movie, which was Jackass number 2. Yep, this movie review is going to be for Jackass 3D, released in 2010, 4 years, like the last movie, 4 years after its predecessor, which was released in 2006. Yeah, and the plot for this one, well, once again, no plot, typical for a Jackass movie. But it's just Johnny Knoxville and company return for the third installment of their TV show spin-off, where dangerous stunts and explicit public displays rule, except this time, it's in 3D. We're coming right at you out of the screen. This time. When they released in theaters, anyways. But anyway, so, of course, after the even better success of number 2 in 2006, of course, another Jackass movie was going to be on the way in 4 more years, except with a different catch. This one would be in 3D, back when 3D was quite a popular trend thanks to Avatar in 2009. Here's how this all got made. Well, once December 2009 hit, director Jeff Tremaine, and series creator, by the way, began doing camera tests with the 3D equipment in that same month. Johnny Knoxville announced the return of the entire cast of the previous 2 movies, obviously. And apparently the stunt called The Helicopter was filmed and shown to Paramount executives in its 3D format to greenlight the project. And Chris Pontius tethered a remote control operator helicopter to his thing and grinned while he swung it around. Then filming of the stunts began in January 2010. Tremaine filled the crew on private property, unlike the traditional Jackass fashion on filming in the streets. Although in the film, several skits and pranks were shot in public, and would include occasional forays to foreign countries. Bam would later tell a news service that the movie was 70% done, and after the crew had to go to the hospital with Margaret having 3 broken ribs and a broken shoulder and a twisted ankle, as they had spoke at that time. And during filming, a recurring member, Loomis Falls, suffered a compound fracture of his clavicle after an improper landing during a stunt involving an umbrella and jet engine. Yeah. Then again, with almost every time they do a stunt in Jackass, they end up having to be hospitalized. And that's why no one should attempt to do anything Jackass related in real life. What stays in Jackass, stays in Jackass. What happens in Jackass stays in Jackass, but you get my point. So after the movie was filmed, it was then released in 3D into theaters on October 15th, 2010, and what did people think about it? They still loved it as much as Jackass 2, and it became the highest grossing film in the series, with over $171 million worldwide on a $20 million budget. And that's massive! Compared to the $79 million worldwide of the first film, and the $84 million worldwide of the second movie. As for my thoughts personally, well, it's still good, but not great to me, really. Because, it's just still more of the same stuff, except in 3D and kind of less funny this time around, because as soon as you get to this movie, you're just kind of familiar with how the series just goes at this rate. Especially knowing that during this time, Steve-O was going through rehab, so most of these were all sober stunts. Or at least stunts just done without alcohol on set. So yeah, you know those party favors which squeak and extend when you blow into them. The 3D in Jackass 3D is used in order to have one of those extending to the camera lens. By virtue of someone expelling flatulence into the other end, and this is one of the more sophisticated episodes. Most are hardly repeatable in the public forum, and those that are repeated involve things like mistreating midgets. And now the opening is pretty creative, I will admit. It doesn't before opens with an actual Jackass chase where they're running away from something dangerous, like in the first two movies. It does have that, but before that does happen, it actually opens up with something really creative. It actually opens with two of the icons, Beavis and Butthead, also two MTV-related icons, opening the movie, explaining the movie that the audience is about to watch, and demonstrating the 3D process where they're basically just slapping each other, basically doing things Beavis and Butthead are just known for doing. Kind of, which was kind of nice. I like that we kind of opened up with seeing Beavis and Butthead on the big screen and seeing Beavis and Butthead. And this was a year before Beavis and Butthead had one more season comeback before they pretty much got canceled for good. But Mike Judge is hinting at returning to series. But anyway, back to Jackass 3D. Once again, like first two, there's no story, no plot, no scripted dialogue. But the dialogue is pretty much kind of improvised, really. What dialogue there is just mostly just a chorus dialogue you're usually known for. No subtlety like its two predecessors. The best way to describe this movie is mostly this time around a live-action 90s cartoon. Chaotic, loud, colorful, gross, and violent. The highlights for me are kind of the more ingenious stunts that include three of the whole crew, just like the Jet, Electric Avenue, and Ram Jam, which I think are the three best stunts in the movie. Now, as for the 3D, well, I was too young to watch Jackass when this movie came out, so I didn't see this in theaters, but when it comes to the 3D-ish stunts that were obviously in 3D when the movie was in theaters, do they work? Well, for the most part, they weren't necessarily needed, nor do they really enhance the film to a wow degree, but certain scenes clearly embraced the aspect and it played out nicely, and the picture was crisp and clean for sure, unlike a certain other 3D installment of a franchise that came out around the same month this movie came out, 2 weeks after it. And can you guess what that is? Yep, that one I'm bashing is Saw 3D. Yeah. Unlike the 3D in that movie, the 3D in this is way better. It's not because at least some of the results are not all pinkish colored and stuff. It doesn't really ruin the movie. So you're probably wondering, where does Jackass 3D or Jackass 3 really land in the film series? I personally would have to say in last place. Unfortunately, it's probably my least favorite Jackass movie. Number 2 reigns supreme by a long shot, and probably always will be the supreme one by a long shot. This movie did kind of feel uneven at times and stripped away some of the amateur style the show is known for. That being said, it has indeed evolved with the higher budgets, encompassing craftier set pieces and opportunities to get good bits. And so in the end, for this movie, my recommendation is that I would just stream this one if you are a Jackass fan, because you'll already be familiar with the material this way, but it's certainly way better than a lot of the other final 3D installments of franchises, and this movie is not a bad movie by any means. I don't think any of the Jackass movies are bad. This one's just not as funny as 1, 2, or Bad Grandpa, which is going to be the next review. It's not another Spy Kids 3 or 4 or fucking whatever, which one of them is worse to you, or if you've seen that series. It's not another Saw 3D. It's not another Paranormal Activity 6 and fucking 3D either. Anyway, now as for how I rank Jackass 3D or 3 or whatever you want to call it, here's how I'm going to rank that film. I am going to give Jackass 3D a 7.5 out of 10. And there we go, guys. That's it for my review of Jackass 3D. Now we only have one more Jackass movie to go, and I'll be reviewing that this weekend, but I won't just be watching that this weekend. I will also be watching Texas Chainsaw 3 and 4, because I am going to be finishing off my Texas Chainsaw review series, because we have that dumbass looking direct sequel coming to Netflix, that's being dumped to Netflix, coming out this month. And I know people are going to ask me to review it and probably want to hear my thoughts on Letterface 3, and I bet some people are specifically really want to hear me rip the shit out of Next Generation. Oh, it's gonna happen. I can't wait to bash that fucker to pieces. But anyway, guys, yeah. Until then, that'll be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.